Welcome. We are live today with the title of the video, 50 questions on the diversity visa lottery applications. You need to know these 50 questions. So I have organized this list of questions. These questions are going to be very, very key. Some of these questions have already been answered by the Department of State or the United States government, but some of the answers are becoming difficult for someone to understand if you're brand new the terminologies they are using. So I took some of these questions from the Department of State instruction website, but I'm going to give more details of each question I'm going to answer today. In addition to that, I've added some other important questions people have been asking me, and they'll have some bonus questions. So bear with me, follow me, make sure that you understand all these questions. They are very, very wonderful questions. Questions have been assigned in terms of the eligibility, in terms of the application process, in terms of selection, in terms of even coming to America and being in a position to succeed in the greatest nation on the planet Earth, United States of America. I know some people might have different opinion on this particular point. So some people, they can say what other nations can be the greatest nations, but to me, still the United States is the greatest nation. So let me start right now by going to put the questions. Question number 1 is on the board. The question is as follows. What do the terms native and chargeability mean in the diversity visa lottery application? What do they mean, these two important terminologies? What does that mean? The term native. What does it mean when we say the term chargeability? And how does that, or does one term apply or both terms apply when it comes to the diversity visa lottery application? When you apply for the diversity visa lottery, the key issue here is eligibility. Are you eligible to apply for the diversity visa lottery? In order to do that, number 1 item to look is the term native. What does the word native mean? And how does that apply to the diversity visa lottery? The term native, in a very layman, simplest way of expressing, means someone born in a particular country, regardless of someone's current immigration status, current nationality, current citizenship. Let me give the example. I was born in Tanzania, but right now I'm the citizen of the United States of America. But that doesn't mean that I was born in the United States. I'm a naturalized citizen. So no matter where you are born, that is where the country of eligibility is. So native ordinarily means someone to be born in a particular country, regardless of the individual's current immigration status or current citizenship on that particular nature. But also, the term native can be also used to charge someone or to attach someone to a particular application or eligibility to apply for the diversity visa lottery. Remember, the application for the diversity visa lottery, people are assigned, are charged in terms of regions, in terms of countries. And this is according to the Immigration and Nationality Act, provision section 202, subsection B of the Immigration and Nationality Act, INA, which wants people to be able or to be charged to a particular country in order to be eligible to apply. So where you are born matters a lot. Let me give you the example. Your parents were refugees, maybe from Rwanda, went to Tanzania. You were born in Tanzania. Down the road, you went back to Rwanda, or you went back to Burundi in your country, or you went back to Congo. Despite your current immigration status, current citizenship, you are Rwandese, but you are born in Tanzania, so the country of eligibility will be the country of birth. And this is the reason, because each country, because of there is a numerical limitation on immigrants who can enter into the United States of America, which is based on the country and the geographical region. In that particular case, each individual must be allocated, must be charged to a particular country. So your chargeability, you are being placed in a particular country, is limited towards the particular country. We'll be talking down the road why one person or one country is not eligible for someone to apply. So your country of eligibility will normally be the same as the country of birth. But however, there are some situations where you can apply for the diversity visa lottery based eligibility on someone else. Just I can give one quick example. Let's say at the current situation, I'm making this video. The country of Nigeria is not eligible. Down the road will be eligible. We'll talk about why one country is eligible, why one country is not eligible. So if you are from the country which is not eligible, but you are married to a person from the country which is eligible, you can claim the country of chargeability, not based on the country of birth, but rather the country of birth of your spouse. So there are all those kind of scenarios you can be able to do that. But each year, the country of eligibility and chargeability are going to be displayed or provided in the middle of August. I mean, middle of September, when they are going to announce the actual dates for the application. That is question number one about what do the terms native and the term chargeability mean when you go to apply for the diversity visa lottery. Let's go to question number two. Question number two. Can I still apply, obviously, for the diversity visa lottery if I was not born in a qualifying country? Can I still apply if I was not born in a qualifying country? This is what I've been saying a few minutes ago. There are some exceptions or circumstances can be allowing. As overall general practice, you are supposed to base your eligibility from the country of birth. But can you still apply if your country of birth is not a qualifying country? And I've said the country of birth are not permanent. These countries, I mean, the country not to be eligible can change. This year can be eligible, another year cannot be eligible. We'll talk about those reasons. There are too many circumstances where you can still apply even if your country of birth is not eligible country. Number one of the circumstance is if you are derivative, by derivative we mean dependent, if your spouse was born in eligible country, was born in a country which is allowed to apply, and you as another spouse on the other hand, you are from the country which is not allowed, which is not eligible. So when you apply, you can use the country of birth. Let's say you put Nigeria, but the question will come, are you claiming your eligibility based on the country of birth? You will say no. You will say, I claim the eligibility based on the country of my spouse. So question number 6, you will go there and say the country of chargeability is the country of your spouse. Then you can claim, if your spouse is from Ghana and you are from Nigeria, you can claim your chargeability or eligibility to participate in the diversity visa lottery based on the country of your spouse. And in that particular situation, if you claim your eligibility or chargeability based on the country of birth of your spouse. If you win or your spouse wins, you must come all together at once. Usually there is a question I will come to answer down the road. The question will be asking, or the question will be saying, what if I apply for the diversity visa lottery and I win? Can I come and my spouse come later? Can I go to the interview maybe today? My spouse can go interview 1 month later. Those options usually they can be applicable, but if you base your eligibility based on your spouse who is from the country which is eligible, you must go on the interview together on the same day, and you must be in the same plane, arriving in the United States at the same port of entry together, you, your spouse, and your children, because your eligibility is based on the country of your spouse. For that particular reason, you are not supposed to divorce, because if you divorce, your opportunity goes their way. The second scenario or second circumstance where you can also be able to do that will be based on the country of birth of either of the parents, as long as neither of your parents was born in or was a resident of your country of birth at the time of your birth. Let me give you an example. The father is from Kenya. The mother is from Kenya. But let's say the father and mother, maybe they were students at the university, one university in another country. While they are studying there, they were not a permanent resident of that country. And you are born in that particular country. Or your parents were born in that country where they are not eligible. There is a circumstances where you can claim based on your parents. So that usually is a very complicated one. Majority of people are, especially in Africa, in Asia, either you are born in country A, which is where you'll be able to claim your eligibility, or you marry someone. Majority of people are based on that particular situation. The key is, if you claim the alternative chargeability, that alternative that not the country of birth, through either one of the two scenarios that have been given about the parents or the marriage, you must provide an explanation on the question number 6 of the when you are filling the form. You have to do that. If you do any mistake of listing an incorrect country of eligibility or chargeability, and you cannot establish, that means you cannot establish that you meet that eligibility, you'll be removed. Even if you win, you'll be denied the visa. In a very simple way, let's say you are born in Kenya, and when you fill the form, usually the drop-down menu for countries, there is Kenya and there is Kiribati or whatever. By mistake, you put another country, and if you win, there is no, it was a mistake. You have to prove you are a citizen of that country. You have eligibility of that country. Otherwise, you'll be denied the visa. So make sure that your country is properly put it there so that you can be able to do that. That is question number 2 of the diversity visa lottery. Someone must know in order to apply and to be able to know for sure if you win, you'll be able to do that. Question number 3 of the diversity visa lottery. Why do natives of certain countries not qualify for the diversity visa program? Why? Why do natives of certain countries not qualify for the diversity visa program? Few things you need to know. The diversity visa, just like the word is, the key word is diversity. That's why you need to know what is the purpose. Why does the United States government decide to have the diversity visas? The diversity visas are only intended to provide immigration opportunity for persons or people or individuals who are not from the high admission countries. Countries with the less number of immigrants in the United States of America. By immigrant, I want to clarify there, because there is a very big confusion again when it comes to the word immigrant. Someone can come in America as a student, you are doing bachelor degree, master's degree, blah, 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 blah. You are doing master's degree for 5 years. You know, I'm immigrant here in America. No, you are not immigrant if you come here to study. You are not immigrant if you are here for visiting. You are not immigrant if you are here as a tourist or as a researcher. Even if you stay for 15 years, you are not immigrant. According to the United States immigration law, immigrant is a person who has a permanent legal residence in that particular country. That's why you have two types of visas. We have immigrant visas and we have non-immigrant visas. Non-immigrant visas are visas for people coming to America with no intention of staying in America on a permanent basis. In other words, you come in America to stay in America for a specified period of time as indicated in your visa. So if you come for the PhD for 5 years, meaning after 5 years, you are expected to go back to your home country. So that is called a non-immigrant visa. But the immigrant visa, on the other way, is becoming permanent resident. By permanent resident means it is on your paper, you are becoming permanent. Not in your head, because someone can say, I'm going to study, and on my head, I'm going to stay there forever. Not on your head. If you come in your head, you are staying forever, you are still a non-immigrant. Immigrant is someone coming or getting the permanent resident status. So if you win the diversity visa lottery, you are getting the permanent residence card. If you get married to an American citizen, if you are a child and you are a parent, you are a citizen, you can sponsor, or employment can sponsor to get permanent resident. That is what we call immigrant. So, in that particular case, we are referring the countries with less number of immigrants, less number of people with green cards. So that's why the diversity visa. We want to provide more diversity. The strength and the beauty and the everything about America is the diversity here in America. So for that particular case, the diversity visas are intended to provide provide immigration opportunity for people from countries with less number of admission, less number of people with a green card, but not all types of green card. So the United States law defines high admissions as those people or those countries from which a total of 50,000 persons from those countries have been given green card or have been given the permanent residence based on two categories: based on the family sponsorship and based on the employment-based visa category. So, if let's say Nigeria was removed from the participating in the green card lottery because Nigeria had over 50,000 people in the past 5 years, and in those 5 years, those people got green card based on family. By family, maybe they got married to an American citizen, or is an American citizen, you are sponsoring your father, your mother, you are sponsoring your brother, your sister, or you are sponsoring your children, all those kind of things. So you give permanent residence based on the family sponsorship or on the employment-based immigration. If those 50,000, if you get a green card through maybe asylum, refugees, you get a green card through other means, lottery or other means, those don't count towards those 50,000. What does that mean now? It means these numbers are not permanent. Why? Because each year, the United States Citizenship and Immigration Services, USCIS, is conducting, provide accounts of the family and employment, immigration, admissions, and adjustment of status in the previous 5 years. In that particular case, they are going to determine which countries are in the high admission visas. And those natives from those countries will not be eligible, and the countries with less than 50,000 will be eligible. That means in September each year, when they're going to announce the list of the diversity visa lottery, they will say these countries are not eligible, these countries are going to be eligible. Since the United States Citizenship and Immigration Services is the one providing this calculation or makes the calculation on an annual basis, that means the list of these countries which are eligible and countries which are not eligible is going to change year after year. So the country can be eligible this year and next year cannot be eligible. But the good news is, because of the pandemic, because of the immigration suspension which happened under the Trump's administration, the first one was in April 2020, on April 22nd, for 2 months. Then it went for immigration suspension from June 24th to end of December, then from the end of December to March. So because of those immigration suspension, which for that particular time, not many people were able, almost all didn't get the visas or didn't get green card based on the immigration, based on the work, employment, or based on the family. So that has reduced the number of visas. So we'll be able to see more countries are going to be added. We are going to see the countries like Nigeria and all other countries which right now are not eligible will be able to do that, will be able to appear at that particular situation. So there is no a problem at all, because at current situations, there are few countries which are not eligible. There are more which are eligible in that particular categories, if you wanted to understand. In Africa at the moment is only Nigeria. In Asia at the moment, which some of the countries like which countries like Taiwan, whatever those countries, even Bangladesh, whatever, they are not eligible at the moment. So those are the countries why one country will be eligible and why another country will not be eligible. Let's go to question number 4. Question number 4, which says, how many diversity visas for 2022 visas will go to the natives of each country and eligible country? So I'm talking of the diversity visa 2022, but in the same way will go to the diversity visa for 2023 and going forward. How many? So in other ways, which will be coming to talk about the selection on that particular category. There is a particular formula under the United States Citizenship and Immigration Services. They have special formula which is going to determine the limit of each region. I usually tell people when I come to talk about the selection, usually like entire world is divided into 6 regions. That's why if you win, your case number will be the V 2022, the V 2021, AF, the V 2023, AF, the V 2022, AS, AS means Asia, AF means Africa, EU means Europe, OC, Oceania, all those kind of things will be that way. How did they determine one region to get what percentage and another region to get another percentage? So the USCIS, United States Citizenship and Immigration Services, determines the regional diversity visa limits for each year according to the formula specified by the law, section 203, subsection C of the Immigration and Nationality Act. That is something you need to know. So there is a law which is guiding that one. That means the number of visas the Department of State eventually will issue will be be determined by the native of each country based on the regional availability. So they go to give so many visas. I'm giving an example. When they selected the winners, for instance, the V2022, they selected 133,000 winners, but they're not going to give those visas, all of them. At the moment, at this law, is 55,000 visas. So at this particular moment, the number of visas which are going to be provided is 55,000. They are going to plan to increase it to be 80,000. We are waiting for the bill to be passed, which is U.S. Citizenship Act of 2021, which is now in Congress. Hopefully, be able to do that. So each country will be having the maximum of 7%. But that doesn't mean that each country will get the same number of visas or the same number of winners. For instance, the country with the highest number of winners in most cases, Russia, 6,005, Egypt, Algeria, 6,001, some countries in Eastern Europe, in Africa, Democratic Republic of Congo, Sudan. So there are all those kind of things you need to understand. But one country cannot have more than 7%. Usually cannot go more than 6,005 or 10. So that is just overall if you wanted to know about how many visas will go to the natives of the countries. But in general, what is going to be determined is going to be determined by the law about how many visas will be able to be issued. Let's go to question number 5. What are the requirements for education or work experience? This is very, very important. Why is it very important? Because this is another part of the eligibility where people get confused. United States immigration law. So the regulation requires that every diversity visa lottery applicant to have at least high school education or its equivalent of that particular education. If you don't have minimum of high school, I'll come to define what is high school here. If you don't have those high school, you need to have 2 years of work experience in the past 5 years. But it's supposed to be in an occupation which requires to have at least 2 years of training or experience. I'll come to explain that one, because not every work experience will be applicable. So let's go to the education. You need to have a minimum of high school education. When you go to the diversity visa lottery application form, there is no any place where you'll be required to put number of work experience or your exact work experience. What you'll be able to be supposed to do is to put only education level, primary, high school, with a diploma, without a diploma. By the word diploma here, we mean certificate. American English, the word diploma is not equal to the education level. Like in many countries in Africa, Asia, and Latin America, they have education level called a diploma. In America, diploma means certificate of completion. So if you finish standard 7, you are given a certificate you have completed standard 7. You finish high school, you get a certificate you have completed high school. If you finish bachelor degree, you are given the transcript with results and you are given the certificate of completion that Ernest Boniface Makulilo has been awarded bachelor degree in political science with the upper second class or with the lower second class with honor, whatever. If you do that, that is called diploma. Diploma is certificate of completion. So in order to be able to be allowed to apply, you need to have at least high school education or its equivalent. High school education is defined as 12 years of education from 1st grade to 12th grade. That is high school education. completion of 12-year course of elementary and secondary education. That is high school education. Let me go back. Some countries have different ways on how they calculate, but in the end, almost every country in the world will have 12 years of education to mean high school. I can give two or three examples. In Kenya, they start with standard 1 to standard 8, primary school or elementary school. Then they go to high school, 4 years, which makes them 12 years in total. In Tanzania, we have 7 years of elementary school or primary school. After primary school, we go to secondary school. Secondary school divided into 2 categories. The first category is the category of what we call ordinary secondary school, 4 years, which if you add with the 7 makes 11. That is not high school. O level in Tanzania is not high school. Then you go to advanced secondary school or advanced level, which is high school now is 2 years. So for Tanzania, if you add those 2 years, it makes it 13 years. But it still is high school. So from primary school, first grade to high school in Tanzania is 13 years. But when you go to the university, most of the degree programs in Tanzania are 3 years, which will make you to have 16 years. But in Kenya is 8 years primary school, 4 years secondary school, which is high school, makes that one to 12 years. But Kenya bachelor degree is 4 years, which will make 16 years. So whether you're in Kenya, whether you're in Tanzania, if you study until you finish bachelor degree, in the end, you're going to spend all 16 years. In Uganda, they have primary school, there is senior 4 and senior 6. Senior 4 is not high school. High school is 12 years or after that, that will be high school. If, let's say, you didn't go to school, you decided maybe I will study from home and go and take the exam only. There are those who call people are going an unconventional route. You go maybe secondary school, first year, second year, so let me quit. I'll do the exam as a private candidate. If you do that, that doesn't count towards being a high school. What they say is this one. Only formal courses of study meet this requirement are the ones going to be counted, meaning correspondency programs or equivalency certificates are not counted. For instance, are not acceptable. For instance, in the United States, we have something called general education. It's called general equivalence diploma, which is called GED. So GED is just like, oh, maybe I didn't go to school. I'll go take the high school exam on my own, study the tuition, go to someone, teach me, read on my own material, go take the exam, and you finish high school. That doesn't count towards completing high school education. You need to be in the formal setting of instruction. You must present the document to prove that you finished high school. Failure to do that, you cannot be able to get the to get the visa, even if you win. So that is something you need to understand about the question, what are the requirements for education? We finish that education. Let's go to the work experience. You need to have at least 2 years of work experience in the past 5 years. By work experience, not every work experience is going to qualify. They say it's supposed to be in an occupation where you got training of at least 2 years or 2 years of work experience to get that work. For instance, you're a mechanic. In order to be a mechanic, not just because you learn from your neighbor and then you went directly to go to have a auto shop and just do the work. You need to go to the vocational education training. Like in Tanzania, there is something called VETA. You need to go to get like a vocational training or trade school, like a professional school for that, a special training of at least 2 years of training. That's why someone, I got the certificate in hotel management. Yes. Then from there, go and work in the hotel. But if you go to work directly in the hotel, you need that job must require someone with work experience before starting that particular job. So that is something you need to understand. I will go to talk more about the occupations. As I said, not just because you finished high school, or just because you are working. Let's say you are a chef, you know how to cook. But where do you cook? Do you cook outside at your house? And maybe you provide food for 5-10 people? That doesn't count. You need to have a work experience. Like work experience, like the magnitude of it. How is it that work experience? So those are the things you need to understand when we say the work experience. Failure to show that on the application form, there is no need to show any documentation. On the application form, what you need is only the just the only education to tick. You don't need to upload any certificate. But once you win, when you go to the interview, that is when you are going to show the proof. And the proof of work experience can be contract, can be official documents from your employer, the official letter from your employer to explain how does that work. So that is about the requirement of education and or work experience, which you need to have. Question number 6. What occupations qualify for the diversity visa program? What occupation qualify for the diversity visa program? I just said, not every occupation, just because you are a chef, you qualify. It doesn't work that way. The Department of State will use the Department of Labor's database, which is called the ONET Online, to determine qualifying work experience. That database is the one categorizing the work experiences in 5 job zones. So you must, first of all, to be in those job zones, number 1. But number 2, apart from being in those job zones are also categorized in the terms of what you call specific vocational preparation, SVP range. So there's a number you need to have to qualify for the diversity visa based on the work experience. You must have, in the last 5 years, 2 years of qualifying work experience in the, what they call the SVP, the specific vocational program, range of 7 or higher. That's why I'm trying to explain how it is. It's a very difficult process, but you can go to that particular, it's called the, I'll put the link on the video so that you can be able to see the ONET online database of the Department of Labor. So you can be able to see, if you're a security guard, what training do you go to get to become a security guard? Did you, if you are a chef, did you go to the culinary school? Did you get a special certificate or the diploma level of cooking? And then where are you working? Are you working cooking at your own house? That doesn't count. Are you working into a high-end professional setting? Yes. All those countries will be able to determine the nature of the occupations, if that occupations qualifies for the work permit, for the work to be able understanding that one. Let's go to another question. Question number 7. How can I find the qualifying diversity visa occupations in the Department of Labor's ONET online database? How do you do that? Because I said, you must find out, it has to be to find out what occupations. That's, if you know what occupations. Now, how do you find it? How can you find it? So obviously, in order to do that, you have to go to the ONET online Department of Labor's database to see if your work experience is going to be within the SVP range of 7 or higher. So when you go to the ONET online database, you can Google that one, you can be able to see it. On that one, you'll be able to see different, the way they say, find occupations. That will be number one. On the under find occupations, you'll be able to select what is called the job family. So when you click the job family, there is a drop-down menu, or they call pull-down menu. So the drop-down menu, when you click this one, it comes the option like different types of jobs. So those types of jobs, it will give the link of the specific occupation. So specific occupation can be security guard. That is a specific occupation. Can be maybe a chef. That is a specific what occupation. So on the job zone, to the database, to the that job zone, you go to get that one. You'll be able to see now that particular job you decide to find. It will be able to determine what SVP range is that one, the rating of that one, the specific vocational preparation SVP range will be what. So if that SVP range is 7 or higher, meaning you are qualifying. If it is less than, you don't qualify. So before you fill the visa form, before you fill what is called the DS-260, the immigrant visa form, make sure for sure you know what job you are going to put there and what experience do you need to have in order to go about it. Okay. Question number 8. Is there any minimum age in applying for the diversity visa lottery? Is there any minimum age to apply for the electronic diversity visa program? The answer is no. But I'll go to explain in detail. There is no minimum age. There is no requirement of age in applying for the diversity visa lottery. But we have seen there are requirements of either education or work experience. When it comes to the education, you need to have high school education. Work experience, you need to have at least 2 years of qualifying work experience in occupation, which has been said there, or 2 years of training before you start that work experience. Majority of people, in order to meet these 2 requirements, will automatically make you have at least 18 years of age, to be 18 years of age. Let me give the example. In order to finish high school, let's start, maybe you were 5 years old at the time of applying. I mean, at the time to start primary school, elementary school. Then you went until you finish high school, 12 years. That makes 16 years of age. I mean, 17 years, 12 years, and then 5, 17 years. When you apply, you are 17. Until the results are out, obviously you'll be 18. So that's why majority of people, if there is no a minimum age requirement, you'll be automatically 18. Then, if you need to have 2 years of work experience, in America, for instance, someone to be officially allowed to work, apart from this cutting grass, whatever, but really working, you have to be 16 years of age and above. So if you have 2 years of work experience after 16, that means it's 18. So even if there is no minimum age, but the requirement of high school education or work experience for each applicant, for the principal applicant, automatically disqualify many people who are under the age of 18. But another thing which is very important for you to understand is, let's say you have a child who is 10 years old. You say, let me make up this child to be a main applicant. There is no problem as a father to apply. You say you have a child and you add the child. Yes, will come with your child. But if that child wants to apply as a principal applicant, a main applicant is a solo, let's say if the child wins, the child cannot come alone. How is the child going to survive in America at the age of 10 or 12? He's not allowed to bring the parent. Oh, because I've won, let me come with my parent. But if the parent wins, can they come with the child? But if a child wins by the child alone, will not come with the parent. So that is another challenge for people to understand that. So even if there's no minimum age, but there are so many situations, you cannot have even a phone bill here in America. You sign a contract to have a cell phone. How are you going to get the apartment? You have signed the contract. Under the age of 18, you cannot sign a contract. I usually tell people, Kobe Bryant was signing for the Lakers at the age of 17 from high school. The parents had to sign. When Michael Jackson 5, Michael Jackson didn't sign any contract until he's 18. The parents have to sign all the contracts. So the easy way, apply. If you want your child to apply, make sure your child is to apply as separate principal applicant. Make sure your child is at least 18 years of age. That will be able to help your child, if he's going to win, to be able to come in America and be able to succeed. Question number 9. When can I submit my entry? When can I submit my application? When? When can I submit my entry? When? Question number 9. Each year, the application for the diversity visa lottery starts in most cases on the first week or the first 10 days of October and ending on the first week or the first 10 days of the month of November. The actual days for the application of the diversity visa lottery are announced in the middle of September. So for the next diversity visa lottery, which will be DV 2023, the entry period hasn't been announced yet until the middle of September. When they announce, they will announce the dates. They will announce the eligible countries. That's what they'll be doing. Even if this question is not supposed to be here, but the application is online, application is free, application is only on the United States government website. www.dvprogram.state.gov. dvprogram.state.gov. Diversity program, diversity visa program. DV standing for diversity visa program, state, Department of State. Then the last part is state, the government of the United States. The domain must the word .gov at the end. Without .gov, that is not allowed at all. That is question number 9 of the diversity visa lottery. Is there which says, when can I submit the diversity visa lottery? So don't start looking for the website right now. You are going to apply for the fake application and you'll be in so much trouble by making other people not in a position to win. And when you apply for the diversity visa lottery, you apply in October up to September, from October to November. The results are coming in the following year on the first week of May, on the first week of May, or the first 10 days of May is when the results are out. So you apply, for instance, October 2021, the results come out in May 2022 to come in the US in 2023. That's why it's called DV 2023, upcoming DV Lottery 2023. Let's go to another question. Number 10. I am in the United States of America right now. Can I enter the diversity visa program? Can I apply for the diversity visa lottery? The answer is 100% yes. When you apply for the diversity visa lottery, you apply online. They don't care the location where the applicant is. Whether you are in the United States, whether you are in Canada, whether you are in South Africa, whether you are in Sudan, whether you are in Democratic Republic of Congo, whether you are in Egypt, whether you are in Ethiopia, whether you are in the Philippines, it doesn't matter where you are. An entrant or the applicant might submit an entry from any location as long as it is online application. And I want to add something on that. The location of the applicant doesn't give any advantage over the other person. So if you're in the United States, it doesn't mean that you'll be having a better chance of winning because you're already in the United States. Or if you're in England, doesn't mean that because you're in England, you'll have more chances. No. The application is just that way. It doesn't matter where you are. So don't start like, oh, because you're in America, please apply for me. No. You can apply wherever you are and you'll be able to win. Because even if you're in America, your eligibility, as we've been saying, is based on the country of birth. So even if you're in America, if you're Tanzanian, you'll continue to be Tanzanian as your country of birth. To apply eligibility, you put Tanzania, regardless whether you're in America, regardless whether you're in whatever country you are. So that is something very, very crucial for you to understand. Question number 11. Can I only enter once during the registration period? How many times can you fill? How many times can you put your application for the diversity visa lottery? Can you apply once, only once? Or should I do more times, many times as possible, so that I can be able to have more chance of winning? The answer is very simple. Each person is supposed to apply just once. If you apply more than once, is considered as a duplicate application. Individuals with more than one application or one entry will be ineligible, will be disqualified, will not be even put into the category of selection process. You are going to be given the technical knockout, time out right away. How do they know? It's very simple. According to the United States law, the law allows one entry per person during each registration period. So for the DV 2021, you can apply once. DV 2022, apply once. DV 2023, once. That's what you're allowed. The Department of State, or rather the United States government, has a very sophisticated technology which is detecting the multiple entries. So they'll be able to detect facial recognition, whatever it is. So even if you use photo A, photo B, they can use photo recognition and to mean that you are the same person. Obviously, they can use data by data. So it's a very sophisticated technology to determine that. Previously, they didn't have in the application that when you are going to apply for the second time, they didn't notify you. But nowadays, they decided to help you. So if you apply, you fill the form, you are going to fill it again, they will tell you your information is already inside. Are you going to, you want to put a duplicate entry? If you say yes, it's up to you. That is the second application, they are going to disqualify you. So when you apply, let's say you put Ernest Boniface Makulilo. In the name Makulilo, maybe by mistake you didn't put O. You came to realize that you didn't put O. You go ahead and you put another application. That's wrong. No matter what mistake you have done, don't go again to put another application. Whether you made a mistake on date of birth, on name, whatever you have put the mistake, don't put another application. It will be considered as a duplicate application. And if duplicate application, even you are not going to win at all. So again, individuals or applicants with more than one application will be disqualified at all. Let's go to question number 12. Question number 12. Why do I need a passport to enter for the diversity visa program? And another follow-up question. Are there any exceptions? Any exceptions I can use to apply? Any exception they are there? So, previously, the diversity visa lottery application didn't have the passport requirement. This one has been required from the DV 2020. That is the first time, in DV 2021. So recently, this is the new requirement. On the DV lottery instruction, I think it's instruction number 7, if not mistaken, which requires you to have a passport. Requiring a valid and expired passport, the purpose of it is to add the extra security to the diversity visa lottery process and to protect your entry. Remember, when we say passport, we don't include the derivatives. We don't include dependents. So if, let's say, I'm going to apply as a main applicant, I will need to have a passport. If I put my wife, if I put up 2 children or 3 children or 4 children, the spouse and the children don't need to have passport to be included in my application. Meaning if I win, I can come with them. But if your spouse, if your wife wants to apply as a main applicant, will also need to have a passport to apply, and we say married to you, but you at that time will need to just have a photo and date of birth, place of birth, those kind of things, and will be able to be added. That is the passport you must have. The passport must be valid. If you put the passport which is not valid, if you put a passport which is expired, you will be disqualified. Even if you go to the interview, they will be able to deny you the visa. Okay. What if you don't have the passport? What should you do? Go and get the passport right now. That's number 1. But 2, if you don't have the passport, make sure you apply. Some countries, the passport takes longer. If you see it takes longer, apply for what they call the temporary passport. The passport you can use to go to your neighboring country. In East Africa, we have the temporary or emergency passport, which is a piece of paper with a passport number and all the information. You can travel with it. Tanzania, Kenya, Uganda, Rwanda, Sudan, whatever, those countries of East Africa can travel with that one. When they give it as a passport number, usually it is called TP, then there is a number. When you go to write the passport number with those one, don't use the abbreviation TP. TP stands for temporary passport. Does the temporary passport is allowed? Yes, it's allowed because it's a passport like any other passport. The difference is from that passport to passport book. The passport book, you can travel to many countries. That one you can travel to fewer countries around your neighbors. But 2, if you use the temporary passport, it's just on the piece of paper. You cannot put the visas like to travel overseas into countries like Europe, any country in Europe or America or other countries. But it is also going to expire very soon compared to the 5 or 10 years passport. So you must have the passport. The follow-up questions. Are there any exceptions to apply for the diversity visa lottery? Yes. There are 3 exceptions, which I believe you are watching or listening to me right now. 99% of the people don't meet these qualifications or these exceptions. Number 1, you must be a stateless. The stateless individuals or stateless person is extremely rare situation where you are born in a country or born in any nation. There are very few people who are stateless. It might be because of certain laws. Born in a certain country, you are not considered a place of birth of that particular country. I know someone was born, is from Angola. During the time of the war, they were moving in the boat to go to far away for another country. The mother was pregnant and had a child into the middle of the international water. While they're on the way, there was no country there. So the child was born nowhere, not in any country. Or if you're born in the plane in the mid-international flight somewhere over there, is not considered in any country, you'll be stateless. So you must be stateless. So if you choose on the diversity visa lottery, you say you are stateless, you will be required to provide evidence to establish that you did not acquire nationality of your country of birth under the laws of that country, which you don't meet, by the way. That is exception number one. Exception number two, you must be someone from a country which is a communist-controlled country, the nationals of the communist-controlled country, and you are unable to receive or to get the passport from that communist-controlled country. So you have to prove two things. If you choose this one, you have to prove, number one, you are from a communist-controlled country, which there are very few countries which are communist-controlled countries at the moment. Number two, despite from being communist-controlled country, you have to express that why is it difficult for you from the communist-controlled country to get the passport? Because there are some people going to be from communist country who can still get the passport. There is no exception that because of the pandemic in my country, it was so slow, I failed to get the passport. There is no such regulations. There is no regulations which says that because there is a war in my country, I was not able to get the passport. No, there's no such exception. And the last part is people who are given the waiver. You must get a letter waiver from the Secretary of State and the Secretary of Homeland Security of the United States government. So you must be a beneficiary of individuals' waiver. So obviously, in order to be that person, you must be already in America, first of all. An individual, obviously, you have to a US visa. So it's a very complicated process to have that waiver. Out of that, you don't apply. Don't apply and put your wrong information that you have a waiver from the Secretary of State, shows the document you don't have. Because in order to get that waiver, you must be in the United States. The only other exception, if you are a refugee, you are allowed to use a refugee passport. So failure to apply without a passport or putting a wrong passport, you are going to be disqualified. If you win, you will be denied the visa. So that is something you need to understand about the passport. It's very, very crucial for anyone. Another question is, what if my passport expires or I lose it before I apply for the visa? So this is a different question. You have applied with a passport. You have won. Then you have lost the passport. Or the passport has expired before you have won. Like at the time of applying, the passport is valid. So what you need to do is very simple. The passport which you will put in the DS-260, in the visa form, is the valid passport which you have. The one which they'll put in the visa. When Kentucky Consular Center, KCC, requests for the documentations, you will be required to submit the passport which you used to apply, which has expired, or which you have lost. If you have lost, you need to have a police record, and if you have a copy of it. Show KCC, this is the passport I used to apply, and this is a brand new passport to KCC. And when you go to the visa interview, you have to go with both the documents. If you enter a wrong passport number, you will be denied. That is something you need to know. So be careful after applying. Make sure that you keep passport in a very safe place. Don't lose it. The same way, if you use a temporary passport, when they require passport, you will send the temporary passport and the actual passport book to the KCC and to the interview, you do the same. My spouse and I each other submit a separate entry. Is it allowed? Question number 14. May my spouse and I each other apply separately? There is a question, usually there's a point usually we say that if you are married, you have higher chances of applying and winning the diversity visa lottery. So some people tend to lie that I'm married because they do not know the logic behind of saying I'm married. They do not know. They think that United States government, they prefer married people. No. When we say you have higher chances of winning if you are married, is because you can apply as a main applicant and your spouse can apply as a main applicant. It used to be very simple before passport requirement. But now with the passport requirement, sometimes you find one of the couple has a passport. So you must be married, first of all, legally married. Then if you have both a passport, a husband can apply. Husband A is married to person B. So we'll say I'm John Abdallah, married to Anna Abdallah. Then Anna Abdallah at that time doesn't need to have a passport, will be included in you. You put all the information. Then Anna Abdallah will go to apply, married to John Abdallah, will put the information. Yes, you are allowed to, so for that, you are allowed to apply both as independent principal applicant. But if you do as a principal applicant, you have to include your spouse as dependent. And if one wins, you both come. There is a scenario. There is a Tanzanian couple, very, very happy, very, very lucky people. The V2020 applied, the husband won. They are processing, visa interview date scheduled. Before the interview date, like 3-4 weeks before, Tanzania was in travel ban. Was not able to get the the interview or to get the visa. They applied for the V2021. Results came out. Both husband and wife won because both have passports. So in order to do better, apply the passport for your spouse, even those temporary passport, so that both of you can apply. You can increase the chances because it will be 2 people. But if you apply, whether you are married, whether you are single, but if you apply yourself, you are married, but your spouse doesn't have the passport, that is one application. There is no any, say, more chances of winning in that way. So there is no say I'm increasing the chances by you as husband or the wife only to apply. You apply and your spouse is going to apply as main applicant. You can have more chances of winning in that particular area. So that is very, very important to increase your chances. Question number 15. What family members must I include in my diversity visa entry? Yesterday I was on the live session. One person said the person has a stepchild. While they filling the form, they didn't see the place where to put a stepchild, so didn't put the stepchild. So, but when they went to the visa interview, the person was denied the visa. So here it is. When we say the family member, my fellow African, family member on this context doesn't mean your uncle, doesn't mean your grandfather, doesn't mean your brother's child. Family member in this context is the spouse, father, like husband, wife, and the children only. When you say include your family, means include your spouse and the children. That is the family member. Engagement, boyfriend and girlfriend don't count. Failure to list your eligible status. Listing a person who is not your spouse, who is not your child, you'll be disqualified. Let me start with the spouse. If you are legally married, you must list your spouse, regardless whether that spouse lives with you or doesn't live with you. Whether you are planning to come with that spouse in America or not, that doesn't matter. You have to include that part, that one. Either you have conflict, he doesn't live with you, you still have to include. The only exception you cannot include the spouse is if your spouse is a permanent resident already or a US citizen, you are allowed not to include. Children. Children are all biological children. Children are all legal adopted children. You must be adopted them legally. You have to have a court documentation to prove that you have adopted them. And the last part of the children is the stepchildren. So in order to have a stepchildren, you must be legally married. Not the children of your girlfriend, not the children of your boyfriend. No, you must be legally married. The children, if the person has the children, those are stepchildren. Parents of the siblings are not included, are not supposed to be. Not like I'm going to apply for my child, but my child has a child. Let me go. Grandchildren, they are not supposed to be included. No. So that is about the sibling. If you put someone who is not, you will be disqualified. That is a big mistake. So make sure you have the photos of all the family members, your spouse and children right now. Don't apply, oh, you know, I was late, I didn't have the photos, or whatever. You must have everything. There is no excuse for that. Because you'll be in so much trouble down the road. Question number 16. Must I submit my own entry, or can someone else do it for me? Must I submit my own entry, or can someone else apply for me? Personal, I will usually explain to people, apply on your own. Fill the form on your own. Don't let another person fill the form on your behalf. You can have someone to fill it for you, but don't get scammed. That, oh, so and so, if he's applying for you, you're going to win. Or if you apply at midnight, you're going to win. If someone fills form for you because he's in America, will win for you. No. The only person who will help you to win is God. That's all. So fill form for you. It is easier for me to make a mistake if I fill your form. So if you fill on your own, you'll be able to be that way. Because you are the expert, you know your name, you know the correct spelling. The form is very easy. There is a video I have which shows step by step on how to apply, how to fill the form properly. Simple like that. Apply on your own. The form is very easy. Name, last, first, middle, date of birth, place of birth, gender, country of birth, address, where you live now, education level. Do you have children? Are you married? I mean, you are married to status. Probably the photo. So why? If you cannot fill the form, how are you going to be surviving in America? It's a very easy form for you to be able to do that. So don't allow someone to fill. But if someone fills for you, it is better if that you are there and you can be able to be on the spot. But because if you send for me to fill for you, and I fill the form, and I don't give the confirmation number, if you win, and I don't let you know, that means you lose your chance. There are some people. There is one guy has a tendency of applying for some people here in America. So it happened, 2 people won. The person told, you have to pay me money. If you don't pay me 10,000, I'm not giving you the confirmation number. I'm not giving you the case number. You see? So the failure just to fill the form on your own, the person ended to pay someone over 10,000, blackmailed. Another person said, you must get married to my brother. And the brother is almost 60 years old and you are 25. So that the brother can come to America. The person refused. The person didn't say, okay, I'm not coming. I'm not going to marry someone 60 years old so that the person can come to America with me. But those are the repercussions you're coming to get if to ask someone. Take responsibility on your own. Because some people, they want, if someone feels, I miss, did you feel it properly? Feel on your own. If you don't get it, you don't get it. Go and find the way on how to apply, and you'll be able to do that. Very simple. Question number 17. I'm already registered for an immigrant visa in another category. Can I still apply for the diversity visa program? Here, what does that mean? For those who do not understand. For instance, you're in the United States already. Or even if you're not here, a company is going to apply for your green card through employment. Or your brother is here in the US, is applying for you to get a green card. If myself, I sponsor my sibling, my brother, my sister, it takes up almost 8 to 10 years to get that green card because it's not the higher priority. So if you are waiting for the green card at that time, can I apply for my brother? If, let's say, you apply for asylum, you're already here, waiting for your asylum to be approved. Can you apply for the green card? The answer is yes. If you are applying for any other program in the United States to become a permanent resident, you are still allowed to apply for the diversity visa lottery. And if you win, you can still process. Which one comes first, you can take it. There is no problem with that. So don't worry. I encourage, even if you are in the US, go and apply for the diversity visa lottery. Despite that, oh, I've already done this process. You never know what will happen. Question number 18. I have to go a little bit fast to finish this question because there are 50 questions. Question number 18. Can I download and save the electronic diversity visa entry form into a word processing program and finish it later? Big no. Big no, big no. No, 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 no. You can download it on your own just to know, to fill it on your own, to remember correctly the questions, but not to save and then come to, no, you cannot save like how you do the visa form. If you do the visa form after winning, you can save and come later, sign in, log in, sign in. The diversity visa lottery is not a log in, sign up and log in form. No, it's one time you go to fill and you submit. But you can go there and take a picture or find out these questions and write on the pen and you come and type on the actual electronic form. But you cannot just go and let me sign up, sign in later. No, you don't do that. It's one form, you fill all at once and you submit. I'll come to explain sometimes when I talk about submitting that, how long does it take? Sometimes you can go and start filling the form, the internet is so slow, or say the page cannot be found. There are other problems, I'll talk about them later. But you don't need to download any form. When the lottery started, it used to be a paper form, but it want to be electronic. So it's electronic, there is no sign up. So if you fill the form, you don't submit, you come with it later, you come and start again to fill the full form. Yeah. And when you submit, it will say success in green words and it will give the confirmation number. So if you go there and fill the form, but don't submit, it's okay. If you come later, you'll go and fill the form again. That's why when you after submitting, whatever mistake you have done, you cannot go and retrieve the form and change or edit. There is no such a thing like that way. Question number 19. We are going fast. Can I save the form online and finish it later? The previous question was, can I download the form in a way and save it wherever? The question number 19, can I save the form online and finish it later? Can I? No, you cannot. This is an online form. you cannot, it's not like email, you sign up for something, you can sign in later and continue where you left off. As I said, this form is one-time filling online. You can go and fill it just to learn, but don't submit. Don't submit. Because if you submit, it will tell you success, it will give you the confirmation number. So you cannot save the form and finish it later. The electronic diversity visa entry form is designed to be completed and submitted at one time. You will have 60 minutes starting from when you started the form until you finish. But in reality, it's not true. That is according to the instruction. The only thing you need to do is to go there and do the form as soon as possible and do that way. Yeah. If you do duplicates, you'll be denied. The system detects any partial entries so that they are not identified as a duplicate later. So if you fill the form and you end up, maybe I have the problem of submitting problem maybe on the photo, and you end up there. While you are filling the form, usually the system is going to detect the information. But if you finish and you don't submit, the system will delete that form that you haven't completed. But if you click submit, it's already registered. You cannot do any change on that particular sense. So, yeah. Question number 20. I don't have a scanner. Can I send the photographs to someone in the United States to scan them and save them and email them back to me so that I can use them in my entry? It's just so many bunch of words. The point is, the photo must be digital photo. When you take a photo, when you go to the studio, don't print out the photo, because when someone says go to the studio, take the photo, they take the photo and they print the photo, they take the phone and then take a picture of the picture. No, take a digital photo. If you go to the photo studio, tell them to take the photo and email you, or put it in the flash, or put them in the memory card. That is, we're supposed to do that way. But don't go to print it out and then use a phone or something to scan a printed photo. Sometimes it loses the quality. The photo must be having exactly the certain type of quality. There is a video I've talked about the green card photo and how even to edit the photo to meet the requirements. 21. If the electronic diversity visa system rejects my entry, can I resubmit my entry? The answer is yes. Not the system doesn't reject your entry per se, but there are a few things. Number one is when you are filling the form, sometimes you are taking longer time, so it disappears. That's number one. Number two is when you are filling the form, maybe the weight of the photo is higher than. So for that particular case, if the weight of the photo is, let's say, more than 240 kilobytes, you cannot upload, and you decide to quit the photo. I mean, that system is rejecting because you put the photo which is the wrong photo, or the weight wise, or you are trying to submit. When you submit, it says the page cannot be found because maybe you stayed very long in filling the form, or the internet where you are is not strong enough. At that particular time, the form hasn't been registered. The form hasn't been successfully submitted. So as long as you do the application between the registration period, from the start of the application day to the end of the application day. So for that particular case, as long as you apply in between that time, you are good to go. And if it's successful, it will tell you the photo is successful, registered. And then you can be able to get the confirmation number. They will tell you keep the confirmation number until the results which will be out. So that is something. And nowadays I've been saying, if you submit, let's say sometimes they say the page cannot be found, but it was submitted clearly, or you forgot to print out. If you go to try to fill again the form, it will tell you this information has been installed, has been registered into our system. So don't submit the multiple entry, because if you do the multiple entry, you will be disqualified for that. Question number 22. How soon after I submit my entry will receive the electronic confirmation notice? This is very important. Very, very important. Why? Because some people think that when I apply for the diversity visa lottery, I will receive the electronic confirmation in my email because I put the email address. No, the confirmation data or the confirmation number is not going to be sent on your email. I wish they do that. It will be very good. That means you have your own email through automatically. I can make that suggestion because I believe that will be a very good thing. Automatically get the email on your email, like get the email with the confirmation number. But usually when you apply for the diversity visa lottery, when you finish, click submit on your screen, whether you are using a phone, you are using a tablet or computer, it will say success in green bolded words. And it will tell you the confirmation, your number has been, whatever entry has been successfully submitted, blah, 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 blah. Your information is as follows, the signature is that one, and then to tell the confirmation number. On that confirmation number, they'll tell you print out. But you must not have a printer because you are using a phone. If you print out, it's good. But I tell people, even if you print out, take that one, put it with your passport, put it with your transcripts, put it with your education certificates so that you cannot lose that particular number. When you do that, also take a photo. Take a photo of the confirmation number. Don't write with a pen because it is likely to make a mistake. Instead of putting 1, you put I. Instead of putting 0, you put O. Or between putting Q, you put O. So you might put a wrong confirmation number. So take a picture of that, send it to your own email. You can have it in your own email. Because the confirmation number is the one you'll be using when you apply. You are going to check the results. The good thing is, from 3-4 years ago, they have introduced that if you forgot the confirmation number, you can be able to retrieve. But I've seen some people have difficulties even if they have the correct email address, they have correct information. If they lose the confirmation number, it's very difficult to get that number. So don't go to the hassle of losing the confirmation number. So get the confirmation number and make sure that you keep in a nice area where you cannot be able to lose or to forget at all. Number 23. If I hit the submit button, but did not receive the confirmation number, if I submit another entry, will I be disqualified? So, as I said, if you submit, you did not receive the confirmation number. First of all, when you say submit, it will tell you on the screen success. If you click submit, but there is no on the screen success, that means it hasn't been registered. That's number 1. But number 2 is you can go ahead and fill the form. And if you fill the form, it will tell you if there is a technical mistake, like when you submitted, you didn't receive by mistake, it will tell you your information is in the system. That means don't submit a duplicate. So, once you receive the confirmation number on the screen of the computer, don't submit another application. If you don't receive, when you fill the form, it will tell you if the information has been installed or information was not installed. And it will tell you in that particular way. Number 24. How do I know if I'm selected? How do I know? Because some people, you apply for the diversity visa lottery. How do you know that you have won? You have been selected. How? When you apply for the diversity visa lottery, the results of the diversity visa lottery can only be checked or accessed or processed through the same website you use to apply. The website you are using to apply for the diversity visa lottery is only the government website. Any other website, any website with the .com, .net, .whatever is fake. The only website must have the word .gov, 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 whatever how you pronounce it, that is the domain. www.dvprogram.state.gov. That is the website you need to use to apply. That is the website you'll be able to check the results. When the results come out, usually the results come out in the month of May, between 1st and the 10th. They will put the date there. You check the results. So when you check the results, with exception of the 2020, because of the pandemic, results were postponed from May to June, but the results are usually in the month of May. You go there and put the confirmation number, put your last name and the year of birth. You can be able to see the results, whether you have been selected or not. So for that particular case, don't lose the confirmation number, because the confirmation number is the only way you'll be able to know if you have been selected. Some people, they get the email from scammers. Oh, you have been selected, randomly selected to process. Send me the money. You send, you are going to be scammed. Number 25. How will I know if I'm not selected? Will I be notified? The Department of State doesn't notify anyone whether you have won, whether you haven't won. It is your responsibility to go and check the diversity visa lottery results on the lottery website, which is www.dvprogram.state.gov. You go there and check the results. You will either be selected or not selected. It will say your entry has been selected. That means you have won. Your entry has not been selected. It means you haven't won. Remember, even if you check 100 times, if you have won, results don't change, will be you have won. If you check 100 times, your results will be you have not been selected. The results will never change. So check once. If you want to confirm again, check it twice. But there is no second selection. There is no third selection. There is no 10th selection. The results are final. The results you check on the day one, they are the same results. They will never change those types of results. So make sure that you go to check your results. What if I lose my confirmation number? Question number 26. If you lose your confirmation number, as I've said, it's very easy. Make sure you go, put your email, put your exact full name, first of all, if you lose the confirmation number, you go to check the results. If you, let's say you're applying in October, in the same month of October or November or December, you lose the confirmation number. There is no way to get the confirmation number back until after the results are out. Once the results are out, you go like you are checking the results. But instead of checking the results, you click forgot confirmation number. Just like how you click forgot password in any certain setting, here we say forgot confirmation number. You have to wait until the results are out first. And you click forgot confirmation number. You will be required to put your full email address exactly as how you used it to apply. Put exactly the name you use, the first, middle, and last name, how you use it in the lottery application, and put your birth date, month, and year. You will be able to be receiving the confirmation number in your email. That is how you can be able to access to the confirmation number. But don't put it randomly to lose your confirmation number. Question number 27. Will I receive information from the Department of State by email or by postal mail? Because when you apply for the diversity visa lottery, there is a place they put the address. You say, write your mailing address, the address where they can send you mail or mail, whatever. Will they send any document? The Department of State or the US government will not send you a notification letter by any way, by postal mail. No. They don't send a notification letter. Why? What notification should they send you? If you have applied, you have won, you haven't won, it's your responsibility to check them online. They don't send you a notification. The US government has never sent email to notify individuals that they have been selected or there are no plans and they don't have any plans to use email for that purpose for the DV lottery program. They don't use it and they have no plan. So if you have received the email you have won, you are going to be scammed. If you have won, you have filled the DS26, you have filled the visa form. Once you complete it, now it will be the visa form documentation, not you have won. That will be just like any other person. You apply for the visa, there is a form you fill there. The communication will be you as a visa applicant. Not as a selectee, you have been won, you have been selected, no. But checking the status is your responsibility. And even if you get the email, any email must have the domain at the end.gov. That is the official United States suffix or domain for the United States government websites. That's all. So out of that, yeah. So the address they're using there, I don't know why they put the address on the application form. Usually that doesn't mean, but the email, you need to have the email. Yeah, because if you lose the confirmation number, how do you access that one? Question number 28. How many individuals will be selected for the diversity visa lottery in the next lottery? So there will be two questions. I'm going to answer them. They're related. Number 28 and 29. 29 will be how will successful entrants be selected? I will talk about that. So first of all, there is a total number of selection, people being selected, and then there is the issue of people being given the visas. So the selection, usually they select more than enough. So for instance, I'm giving an example. The DV 2021, they selected 133,000 winners. But the visas, maximum number of visas to be issued at the moment is 55,000, though there is a work in progress, possibility of going to 80,000 if it is going to be passed by the Congress. Then there is the issue of selection for the DV 2022. 2022 was 119,000 winners. Those are the number of winners. So the winners, they take more than they require, because some people do not check the results. There are some people check the results, go to interview, they don't meet their qualification, they were denied, or they lied that they don't have children, they have children, they are losing. So that's why they have a backup of people. So there's no fixed number of people being selected. They take more people, but minimum usually is more than 120 in many years. How many visas at the moment is 55,000 visas at the moment. So these are entrants to be selected. How a successful entrant to be selected? So that will be another question. How do they select them? That is something else you need to consider that. We'll also talk about when it comes to the interview, we'll be talking about interview, the language. We'll talk about interview, what reasons will cause you to be denied the visa despite of winning. All those kind of things we'll be able to share in this list of questions. How will entrants be selected? It is a random selection. The selection doesn't care whether you didn't go to primary school or you have PhD. The selection doesn't care how old you are. The selection doesn't care your marital status. Selection doesn't care whether you are born in Ghana and you live in the US. Doesn't care where you live at the time of whatever. Doesn't care the time you applied. The selection doesn't care whether you apply on day one or on the last day. Doesn't care. All of those is a random selection. All the world is divided into 6 regions. Then they are going to eliminate people who have wrong applications, like you're supposed not to wear glasses. You wear glasses, they eliminate you. You're supposed to have white background, you don't have white background, they eliminate you. You are supposed to put your photo in a portrait, face looking in the camera, you put upside down, they're going to eliminate you. You are supposed maybe to have, let's say, your photo as a shadow, they're going to eliminate you. So you're supposed to put 1 application, you put 2 applications, they're going to eliminate you. So they're going to eliminate people, and then they're going to put people in 6 regions. Africa, Asia, Oceania, Latin America, all those kind of things. Then the machine is going to select it randomly for each region, and each region not to exceed, each country not to exceed 7% in that particular regard. Okay, question number 30. I'm already in the United States. If selected, may I adjust my status with the USCIS? How do you do adjustment in the United States, or if you're already in the United States? So it is very simple, very easy. If you are in the United States, if you are here, usual, if you are applying for green card, whether it be green card by marriage, whether it be green card by work employment or religious sponsorship, any green card you apply in the United States, because you have one type of visa already here, we call you have to do the adjustment of status. And all people will fill the same form, immigration form number I-485, adjustment of status. So if you're already in the United States, provided you are eligible, you'll be able to do the adjustment of status under the terms of Section 245 of the Immigration and Nationality Act. You'll be allowed to do the adjustment of status to the permanent resident based from whatever visa you have. But again, still, because you are green card lottery winner, you must do the adjustment before the end of the fiscal year. So usually the end of September, if your visa is for that particular September, end of that September, you're supposed to be already do that one in a normal way to be able to access your adjustment of status. But you are allowed, if you want, if you want to travel to your home country and the process from there, you can be able to do that. There is no problem at all on that particular reason. Question number 31. If I'm selected, for how long I'm entitled to apply for a diversity visa? So the point is, you applied for the DV 2022. Let's say for those who applied, the results came out on May. Basically, you can start right away. So DV 2022 winners, they will be able to process their visa from October 1st, 2021 to end of September 30th, 2022. That's why that is the only time you'll be able to process for your visa, to get that the actual diversity visa, the stamp on your passport. How long is the end of the fiscal year? If you don't process your green card to get your visa within that fiscal year, it's over. Finito. Nothing more. So for that particular case, it will be difficult for you to go and process that way. So make sure that you apply. Once you win, you know for sure you have won. You need to do the processing of the documents, filling the BS-260, which is a visa form, and the process everything as soon as possible. There is no quick deadline when, but make sure that you have ample time to process everything before the end of the fiscal year. Otherwise, you will be in so much trouble. You will not be able to be given your visa. Question number 32, which we are going to answer right now. Question number 32 says, if a DV selectee dies, what happens to that case? The main application is for the people, someone has won. If you have won, then the person dies. If the person dies, that case will be closed, in the sense that a beneficiary cannot just go and be given the visa for the person who has died already. So if the main applicant dies, the main winner dies, the wife or spouse and the children cannot come for the person who has already died. So that is something you need to know. So if you apply, that's why there is a need for both husband and the wife to apply. So for that particular case, you have to pray for your spouse not to die if he's the winner. But to make it easier, both husband and the wife apply so that if both of you wins, if one dies, still you can be able to access and you'll be able to do. So if a DV selectee dies at any point before to travel, even if you already have visa, but the person dies before to travel to US, it's gone. But if you already traveled to America, you are living in America, you cross that border, they put the stamp. If you die, you are here, there is no problem with that. So that is about if the DV lottery winner dies, the entire case is over. For those who are following me on Instagram, I have a list of 50 questions about frequently asked questions I'm going to answer. I'm in question number 32. I'm not answering any question at the moment out of the 50 questions. Once I'm finishing all the list of 50 questions, I'll be able to answer any other questions. But let's continue to have the list of 50 questions which I have here. Question number 33. How much does it cost to enter the diversity visa lottery? How much does it cost to enter the diversity visa lottery? There are two things. There are no costs, first of all, in applying for the diversity visa lottery, but there are costs associated after winning the diversity visa lottery. The fees associated, I will talk to these fees later. But applying for the diversity visa lottery is free of charge. Don't get scammed. Don't go to a website that say use MasterCard, Visa card. We are going to guarantee you are going to win. We are going to process so fast. Don't do that. You are going to be scammed. There is no fee charged to submit the electronic diversity visa lottery application form. However, if you are selected, if you win the DV lottery, there are fees associated. It will be medical fee, which you pay cash to the medical professional physician in your country. Then there are fees, which are visa fees, which you pay by cash on the US Embassy. Don't send a visa fee to Western Union or to anybody online. The US government doesn't do that. You must pay your visa fee at the time of the visa interview direct to the consular cashier at the US Embassy on the day of your interview. But if you are in the United States already, you will pay using the USCIS website, which is the government website. And I'll talk about the fees, how much you need to prepare yourself for later. Question number 34. How and where do I pay the diversity visa, DV and immigrant visa fees if I'm selected? I've already answered that one related to number 32, number 34 on how much. So how do I pay for the diversity visa? As I said, the application itself is free. But the immigrant visa fee, just like if you come as a student, you pay for the visa fee. Tourists, you pay for the visa fee. So for the visa fee, for the green card immigrant visa fee, you pay by cash 320, whatever the amount of money you're supposed to pay, 330. You're supposed to pay by cash at the US Embassy. You go and give the documents, you pay to the cashier, then you do the interview. On the day of the interview, they don't accept money in local currency. They don't accept money in any in the card at the US Embassy. They want cash. That's very, very important. And again, the medical, you pay to the medical physician on cash wherever you go to do the interview. To do the medical. 35. If I apply for the diversity visa but don't qualify to receive one, can I get a refund of the visa fees I paid for? There is no paying back. There is no refund of any kind, of any type of visa you apply. If you apply for student visa, tourist visa, medical research visa, green card visa, whatever visa you are going to apply, if you apply, you don't get the visa, you were not to be given the visa, it's over. They don't give you the money. There is no refund of any kind. No visa application fee cannot be refunded. That's why you are told to go through all the documents and make sure that everything's correct. If a consular officer determines that you do not meet requirements for the visa, or you are otherwise ineligible for the diversity visa under the US law, the consular officer cannot issue a visa and you will be forfeit all fees paid. They don't give you money back. Simple and clear. Question number 36. If I receive a visa through the diversity visa program, will the US government pay for my airfare to the United States, help me to find a house, get employment, and provide the health care or any subsidies until I'm fully settled in the United States of America? US government doesn't give you a dime. They don't give even $1. As I said, the visa fee you pay by cash in the United States, US dollar. US currency is US dollar. Is not franc, is not Tanzanian shillings. You pay in US dollar. US government, they give you the visa. That is bigger than anything else. They are not going to give you, oh, so thank you, we give you green card, now you have flight ticket, this is the flight ticket, okay, now go and stay in California, enjoy the time in Malibu. No, they are not going to do that. After winning, applying for the diversity visa lottery is free. After winning the diversity visa, there is no any other fee or any cash or benefit the US government will give. They are going to give you the actual card. They are going to give you the visa. When you come to US, you're getting the card. The card is a permanent resident card. Is going to give you the ability to work any number of hours you want. Is allowing you to live here permanently without any extra documentation you need, or to be able to employ. You don't need any extra authorization. You are allowed to travel back to your country and come back without applying for another visa to come back to the United States. So it's your responsibility to find where you're going to stay. It's your responsibility whether you want to do business. It's your responsibility whether you want to go and just stay. It's up to you. They're not going to do any subsidies with that. I will be talking about how much money you need to have before you come to America. But they're not going to give you that. The green card itself is more than that cash if they have to give you. Green card is the big, big, big thing. You come here and work. Unless others you come here, you do business, it's okay. But if you want to come here and become homeless, you don't work, it's up to you. But they're not going to give you money. No. They're not going to do that at all. So you need to make sure that you have enough money to start with, because doesn't apply, it will be difficult for you to survive your life in America without that one. So, US doesn't give you anything. US government doesn't tell you which state to go to live there. You have to find a host. You have to find a place to stay. That's up to you. But it's not going to say, okay, now EBM, you are here in America. Now go and stay in California. Now go and start and do 1, 2, 3. No, they're not going to do that. So be careful. Yes, you don't need to have, you don't need to, I mean, you don't need, okay, come here. You don't have even a single dollar. No, you cannot survive. You need to have a host. I will talk about the host. How do you get the host? Because people get confused all the time. They think that, oh, if I go to America, it will be easy. I'll be getting the money. Yes, you'll be able to get the money if you work for them. You find the money, but otherwise, it will be difficult for you to survive this kind of life. Okay. What other expenses should I be aware of after winning the diversity visa lottery? Question number 37. What other expenses should I be aware of after winning the diversity visa lottery until I secure the visa? Or even like overall the expenses, how do I go and come here and survive the overall life in America? So, few things. Number one, after winning the DV lottery, I'm talking here as if you are single. If you are single, after winning the DV lottery, you don't pay anything at the moment. You go and fill the visa form called the DS-260, immigrant visa form. The form is free. You fill the form. That means you are applying for the visa now. After applying for the visa, you don't pay anything. At one point, Kentucky Consular Center, KCC, will send an email to request for the documents. The documents will be the birth certificate, police record, also like passport. If you have been to the prison record. If you have been to the military record. So those kind of information you need to provide. KCC doesn't require education or work experience documentation. At that time, you're just waiting. Then 6 weeks before your interview, they will send what is called the second notification letter, which is to inform you you have been scheduled for the interview. Once you're scheduled for the interview, in those 6 weeks, you have to do the medical. So the first cost, first expense, obviously you need to have a passport and you use the passport. So that is a personal expense. I don't care if you have or don't have, you need to have a passport, obviously. The first big expense will be a medical. Depending on the country, but in most cases, the medical fee for adult is about 400, 350, 400 to 500, depending on country to country. Even in US, it's about 400 to 500 US dollar. So that is the amount of the money. So let's put as a high number as 500. Let's do a little bit calculation here. So let's say the 500 for the medical. Usually, if you have children, it can be 120, 150, 200, depending on the age. But that's number one. Number two, the other expense you need to have is the visa fee, 330. 330 visa fee, you pay by cash at the US Embassy on the day of the interview. Don't be scammed. Once you go to the visa interview, I'm talking if you are single, you go there, you give the documents, medical, everything, and the money. After a few minutes, you are going to come to another window. You're going to do the interview. While they're doing interview, once they finish, they say you have been awarded the visa. Then come in 1 week or 2 weeks to get the actual passport with the stamp. They don't give right away on that day. So if they say that, they'll give you a piece of paper, which is called, they'll give you the link where you can pay what is called the, we call the immigrant, is called the green card fee. Green card fee, this is just like a green card. It's just like a card which is green, but that card, to be printed, this card is going to be printed by USCIS. So it's called the USCIS fee or green card fee is about 220. This fee, so first of all, visa fee is 330 for anybody, whether you is a child of 1 day, whether it's 100 years old. Doesn't matter about age in that particular case. And this 220 is a 220. This one is the fee to print the card, but this fee you are not supposed to. I mean, it's up to you. You can you can pay the fee before you travel to come to America, or even after arriving in America. It will not affect anything, because once you are here, by your passport having the visa, green card visa, you'll be allowed to get the social security number and start to work right away while you're waiting for the card. The card does not mean anything, because your social security number, if someone enters into the system, will be showing that you are allowed to work to any employer without a problem. So up to that is 1,050 for one person. This is excluding the cost for the flight. The flight will differ. The flight will differ in what sense? Depends on where are you flying, to East Coast or West Coast, in middle of America. Are you using which airline? When are you traveling? Are you traveling in winter or the spring or in fall? Are you traveling the day you purchase the ticket today? How many months in advance? Are you traveling taking the ticket today? You're traveling this week, or you're traveling after 2 or 5 months? All those kind of things will be able to determine the flight to be cheaper. But in most cases, let's say one-way flight ticket will be added maybe 1,200. I'm giving an example. So that will make it 2,250 for one person. So then when you are here, there is a cost, obviously, depending now. Are you going right away to start your apartment to rent, or you have a host? How long are you going to stay with the host? When are you going to get the job? So those are the costs you need to have. So usually I tell people, if you have 5,000 to start with, that is good money to start with if you are single. If you are more, you can keep adding more money from that particular end to be able to secure your life. So those are the costs associated with how much money you need to have, or what are the expenses should you be aware after winning the DV lottery until you secure the visa. And once you are given the visa, you have 6 months to fly to come to America. If you don't fly, after 6 months, your visa is going to expire and game over. So that is something you need to consider when you are going to do that. Make sure that you fly within 6 months. And those are the expenses. So you'll be able to see, again, whether you have those money or not. The good thing, you don't need to pay those amount of money right away. You pay them almost a year later. The results are coming out in May. You know for sure your case number can project when it will be the interview. So you can know, oh, my interview will be May 20, a year later. So you can start saving the money, getting ready for that. And it depends, obviously, to get the job, it depends on your aggressive nature. If you work so hard quick, you'll be able to get your job quickly, starting the job. And there are so many jobs. As long as you don't come here and the mentality that I'm coming to become a manager from day one, that should be okay. But if you come here with it, okay, let me fight to get the job as soon as possible, you can go and find jobs into the job search agents, recruiting agencies, those one with staffing agents, or you can find it on your own through online, or you can go to the store. You go to the store, go to Walmart, go wherever. They'll find the signs. We are hiring, we are hiring, we are hiring. Then you go and get the jobs through that way, a quicker way, and you don't have any problem. While you are working, if you need to get more certification or to apply for more professional job, that will take time. So don't come here and rush from day one. I want to start only applying because I was a university assistant lecturer. So let me from now on apply to become a lecturer in America. It will take time. It can take 6 months, it can take a year, 2 years to get that job which you really want or you really like it at all. Question number 38. How many visas will be issued in DV 2022 and DV 2023? So, at the moment, the visas which are issued are 55,000 is the maximum limit. But now there is a process of adding the visas to be 80,000 visas instead of 55,000 visas. This is under what we call the United States Citizenship Act of 2021. There is a very big debate in the immigration part, but at the moment I'm talking, there is infrastructure bill, and Democrats want to use what they call budget reconciliation process to add that one and to be processed very soon, instead of the bigger process of the bills, which have to go to all the processes and get 2/3 of the votes for the Senate. But this one, if they do that, they need 51 votes instead of 65 votes. So we are waiting. Maybe in these 2 to 3 days, I'll be able to provide another video with the details about the steps and the stage where they are there. But at the moment is that one. So if, let's say, they pass that law today, and this is signed to become a law, bill is signed, and then Biden as the president is going to sign to become a law, it will start immediately with the DV 2022 winners in this October to continue in that way. So once the day it's going to be approved, that is the time the visas, number of visas will be able to increase right away. Personally, I like the visa to be increasing because it will give many people more opportunities to be able to get that one. The other related question number 39. Do derivatives, or rather dependents, where is the derivatives? That is the professional legal terms. Do derivatives are counted as extra visas towards the total 55,000 visas to be issued? This is a very good question because it affects many people. Get confused. Many people get confused because they think that, let's say, if I'm the winner for the DV lottery, and if I'm the winner, I'm single. That is one visa. So out of 55,000, that is one visa. But what if I'm married and have 10 kids? All those 10 kids under the age of 21. So including my wife, will be 12 people. Are those going to be counted as 12 visas within those 55,000? Or are those all going to be considered as one visa? Many people are getting upset usually. Oh, these people who are married, these people with the children are taking our visas. They are not taking your visa. So don't hate one another because someone has a family. Yes, there's an advantage when you are married. You can bring your wife or your husband. You can bring your children. Yes. But if you have 10 children and you have a spouse and you yourself 12 visas, all those 12 visas are considered as one visa. So out of 55,000, that is one visa. Regardless of how many dependents you have, that is one visa, because the visa we consider is the visa of the principal applicant as one visa. We are not considering, okay, principal applicant with the 2 children, those are 3 visas. No, that is one visa. One visa of the principal applicant. So do derivatives counted as extra? No, they are not counted as extra. They are considered as one visa of the main applicant, principal applicant. That's why if the principal applicant dies, then all dependents are not coming to America. So you have to pray your principal applicant doesn't die. Is the host the same as the sponsor? No. No. The host is not the sponsor. It's not the same. First of all, the diversity visa lottery program is not a sponsorship program. Sponsorship program is like a family-sponsored immigration. Myself, I got the visa because my wife is a United States citizen. If my wife is a United States citizen, for that particular case, my wife has to fill the form is called I-130, petitioning that this is my relative. First of all, you have to sponsor, this is my relative. So I get the green card because this is, my green card was based because of my spouse. Right now, if I sponsor, my father is already dead. If I sponsor my mother will get a green card because I'm the United States citizen and I'm sponsoring my parents. You see? That is what they call a sponsorship. If you get a job by employer is going to sponsor you, you are going to be given a green card because a sponsor is your employer. But you don't get the green card because Ernest is going to host you. No. I'm not sponsoring you. You have been sponsored by the US government by giving you the green card lottery. Does that make sense? You have been given a green card by lottery, the government program to be giving people visa, not me. So host is not a sponsor. So people are confusing sponsor, host, and the concept of affiliate support. I will answer the affiliate support question. So this one is not a sponsorship program. Host, the word host is just the address where you are going to stay. In the diversity visa lottery form, the question says as follows: write the address where you will be staying in America. The question doesn't say who is your host in America. The question doesn't say who is your sponsor in America. That is not the question. Write the address where you're going to stay. So even if you don't put the name, you put the address where you're going to stay. It has to be a residential address. So if your address, if you rent the apartment right now, and that is the address, the landlord is not your host. Landlord is not your sponsor. It's just the address. I'll be staying on this address. That's all. That's what they want. So a host is not the same as a sponsor. Sponsor means I'm sponsoring to be given a green card. That is the meaning of sponsor. Me as a United States citizen, I'm making you get a green card. Sponsorship is not about because I will pay you the money if you don't have the money. No. Sponsorship is because a citizen is showing you have to fill a form. It's called I-130 to create, establishing the relationship. This is my spouse. This is my father. And I wanted this, my father. Give this green card to my father because I'm a US citizen. This is my relative. Does that make sense? Then, after that, but there are sometimes, I will talk about a little bit about the how to get a sponsor and the affiliate support. But don't confuse the two. If you want to get a sponsor, that is something else. Yeah. But address can be address of even international student can give you the address, can be your host. Even someone who's a tour who is just here as a researcher can give you the address. But a sponsor cannot be just international student. That is a different ball game. So we need to know the difference between these terminologies. An international student can host you. A green card holder can host you. A US citizen can host you. A host is the address, is apartment. Just the apartment where you're going to stay. So you don't need to have even a person. You can rent apartment on your own if you want. If you go and rent apartment, that is the address. The question is not about who is your host in the visa form. Go and read the visa form. There is no who is your host. Write the address. Where will you be sleeping? Where will you staying in America? That is the question. The question is not who is going to host you. But because of our poverty, it's just like you decide to take a vacation from maybe from Dar es Salaam, you want to go to another city or another country. Because you don't have money, you are looking for someone. Oh, you have a host, but you can rent an apartment for 1 month vacation. You can go and stay in the hotel. It's okay. But the problem of staying in the hotel, to put the address of the hotel, because that green card will be sent to that hotel. That's why you need a residential address, which will be easier for you to get the actual card once you are here in the US. So don't confuse. The host is not the sponsor. Those are 2, 3 things different, whatever you want to consider them. So make sure you know the difference. Make sure you don't confuse the two. And don't start disturbing people. Be my sponsor. Be my sponsor. When you are looking for someone, ask the person, can I have your address where I'll be staying? It's not your sponsor. Don't confuse the things. Question number 41. How can I get a host in the United States. How can I get a host? A host, because of poverty, that's what I'm trying to explain. You are finding someone who lives in the US. One, you need to start having friends who are in America. You need to follow people who are in America. You can go to the social media, Facebook groups, Tanzania Association in the United States. You can go to the, you can go to, let's say, to where? Let's say you go to, you are Christian, you go to Christian groups in America. You are from Ghana, find the Ghana associations of whatever, who are Ghanaians who are in New York, whatever city you want to go. Then write to them, I have won the DV lottery. I'm looking for someone to host me even just for 2 weeks. Stay there or for a month, then I will disappear. So those are some of the ways. You can write a message to a pastor of a church if you are Christian. If you are Muslim, write to a sheikh, imam, to a particular mosque in any city you want. I've won the DV lottery. These are my documents. Is it possible you can host me or find someone who can host me even for a month? I can use that address. Or you can find someone, can I go and stay to you? I can rent your apartment from you, but once I arrive there, I'll be paying right away, maybe 200 per month or 500 per month, depending on how you agree. You can use that address. So that is something you need to know about how you can get the host in America. Make sure that you agree on the terms. Are you going to stay for free? Are you going to contribute how much? Or are you going there to support, to help with the children, whatever, so that you cannot have unnecessary conflict? There is a video, I explain more about how to get a host, but there is a video I'm going to explain more about how to deal with a host, to have relationship as a host, because I've already hosted some people here and I know what to expect. Question number 42. Is affidavit of support or public charge required to secure the visa? No. Public charge has already been cancelled. So even the form DSC 5540 affidavit public charge form is no longer available. Affidavit of support. So by law, you are not allowed to submit the affidavit of support. But individual embassies can request. So don't worry. Don't start pressuring your host. If the embassy wants you to have affidavit of support as a document, will email you. After having the schedule for the interview, the individual embassy will send you the list of the doctors and the documents you need to go with them to the interview. That email will say, we need affidavit of support. And you have 6 weeks to come with that document. And that affidavit of support can be filled by a green card holder or a US citizen. Can it be your host or can it be any other person? So it can be your host, but the document can be filled by another person. It's just a person committing that if you have a financial problem, I'll be able to support you. That's the purpose of that affidavit of support. But that is not sponsoring you to become a green card holder. It's just to take responsibility of financial. That's all. Question number 43. Does the US government decide where the diversity visa lottery winner to live? No. Doesn't decide for that. If you win, you are the one to choose where you want to go. But majority of people are going to choose where to go to live depending on where they're going to get the host. And once you arrive here, you can arrive here today and tomorrow you can move to another state, you can move to another city, you can move to another address. But the law says you must change the address on the USCIS website or to call them and change every time you move to another address. That is the regulation, not just green card lottery winner. Any green card holder, within the 10 days you move to another apartment, even if it's in the same city, you must change the address. Failure to change the address, you might be deported. But people are not deported, but that is the law. So the government doesn't decide where to live. It is you find where the host is or where you're going to find the apartment. It's your life. You choose wherever you want. Which state and or city is better for immigrants? It depends on what you really want here in America. There are some people enjoy more urban life. There are some people they call cooler life. But overall, what I can to explain to you is go and look at the cost of living of different states and different cities. There is no pride like, oh, I live in New York City. I live in Los Angeles. I live in San Diego. You might live there and you can live just like homeless in America. You can be there, you cannot afford to have an apartment, to live on the street, or put a mattress on the floor, 10 people are sleeping together because you cannot afford. So go to the normal states, in my opinion, which are affordable. But the problem sometimes you might go to a state, New York, because that is your host is, but doesn't mean that you have to live there forever. Find the list of states which are affordable, states which you can be able to survive, and then start your life there. But some people, they can excel in a bigger state. Some people cannot excel. Some people can excel in the smaller state or the affordable state. Some people cannot. But what I want to do is for you to understand is there is no pride that you say I live in Manhattan. There is no that pride. Here you will be, as long as you are able to get the money to pay every bills you need and save and reach your dreams, that is the most important of all. Which jobs are easy to get once the lottery winner arrives in the United States? Obviously, any general job is easier to get. Don't come to America day one, you want to become a supervisor and become a manager. So go and get jobs, especially in the warehouse, is very easy to get. Jobs in the production areas, in the industries, just general jobs, cleaning jobs are very easy to get. Jobs in the restaurants, easy to get. Jobs in caregiving are very easy to get, but you have to get the, for instance, those certification. So as long as you come here and start right away, but don't come here with the mindset that I want to become a CPA right away day one. No. You have to come here, start, get work experience, and find the job which you prefer. So easy job to get are the jobs which pay you quicker, general job per hour jobs. Question number 46. What degree program or course should I take to get good jobs or career as a lottery winner? So don't come in America with the mindset that, oh, because in my country, Masters in Business Administration, MBA, is very, very good, in America will be very good. No. You have to come with the mindset that I'm coming here with open mind. For instance, in Tanzania or in Kenya and Uganda, nurses are not paid well. Here, nurses are doing very well. So if you come with the mindset, I want to become a lawyer, I want to do this one, but you don't want to, you have to see which one can you be able to do. So come here, you are the lottery winner, you have plenty of time. Don't come there, you want to start getting the student loan. Take your time, learn which one you prefer if you want to take the loan or scholarships, then you go and pursue. Sometimes you don't need another degree, or don't need a degree, you need a certain certification. You are IT person. Degree IT, yes, is good, but there are certification. Those Cisco, Sigma, whatever, all those certifications are very, very good certifications. You have degree in human resources. What certification do you have in human resources if you want to pursue and do well? You are dealing with this kind of bookkeeping. Do you have those bookkeeping logistics certifications? So come here, take your time, find what pays well, what will you enjoy doing for the for a longer time. Then you can be able to do that. But most likely, the science, engineering, and the medical field, healthcare, they pay well if you are looking for the good pay. And yes, you can come with a social science degree or a background, and you can study, become a doctor if you want. It's possible. Question number 47. Can I come alone to the United States of America after winning and my family joining me later? The answer is yes. But if you are the lottery winner, my advice usually is be go all of together at the interview and all come together at once first. But if you want them to come later, after getting the visa interview and getting the visa, remember they have the visa which they are going to get, it has 6 months. They have to be in America. If they don't come, it's expired. But what if you want to do the interview today and your spouse to do the interview later? It's allowed to. The principal applicant can do today and the other one can do another day. But the problem is, it has to be the interview within that fiscal year before that September 30th. But to avoid the confusion, I usually tell people, this opportunity can go away from you very, very quick. So make sure you all come together, you all process and come together at once. It is very, very helpful. I'm I'm married in a traditional setting. Will my wedding be accepted? Yes and no. In the end, they don't care how you got married, whether you got in a church, whether you got in the mosque, whether you got married in front of the chief, whether you stayed in the woman with 10 years by your law, if you stay with 1 year or 2 years is your wife, they don't care about that. What they care is bring the marriage certificate from the government of your country. Legal marriage document from the court, from the government, whatever it is, it has to be a document from the court or from the government in general, because the court is government document. So they need, even if you stay with a woman for 50 years, you have 50 children, if you don't have the marriage certificate, according to the US law, that is still a boyfriend and girlfriend, full stop. So you need to have a marriage certificate. So go and get it. But the question might ask, but if I've been traditional married for a person for 10 years, I have 3 kids, but marriage certificate will say today's date. There is no problem with that. Don't start to forge and backdate that date. No. Leave the date the same, but you can say we are traditional married, but when we go to get the certificate, it showed this date. There is no problem. It's just like if I get the birth certificate today, it will show today's date of getting the certificate, but it doesn't mean that I was born today. Question number 49. How difficult is the diversity visa lottery interview at the US Embassy? It is the most easiest interview you'll ever have. As long as you don't have any criminal past, which is bad, as long as you have education, which is required, high school and above, as long as if you don't have education, you have work experience, which is required, out of that, your interview is smooth. But if you don't have those kind of things, you'll be having interview, which is a bit difficult. The interview is 3 to 5 minutes. If it goes further, it's 7 minutes if you have a family. This interview is different from the interview of non-immigrant, where they tell you, will you come to your country later? They don't ask you because you are coming to live permanently here. They are the one who is going to give you the green card based on their program. So what they need to know, do you have education? Do you have working experience? The medical, if you don't have the tuberculosis, you are good to go. Other things, you are good to go. Simple like that. So it is the easiest interview because they don't question you how much assets you have to prove that you come back to your home country, because you are coming to America and you can say how much you love America, but don't go with the t-shirt with the bad American flag, whatever. No, go decent, answer question properly. If you wanted to have someone to help you with the translation, interpretation, you're allowed to bring someone, but you have to inform the US Embassy on the email. They'll give you the email if you want to go with the interpreter. Yeah, you're allowed to use English, Swahili, French, whatever, but you have to go with the interpreter, but you have to inform them and you have to give the name of the interpreter before you go. And the last question, question number 50. What is the secret to succeed as immigrant who is a DV lottery winner in the United States of America? This is a very good question. Few things. Number 1, don't commit any crime. Don't find unnecessary shortcuts here, which can lead you into legal trouble. That's number 1. Don't do drugs. Don't avoid tax by any cost. It might cost you very, very bad. If you are a green card lottery winner, don't vote in the election because you are not a citizen. You'll be deported. And they'll take out the green card. If you are here, be aware of the finances. Know how to use your budget. Know how to use your money properly. So that is very, very important. Make sure that while you are here, you know how to use credit card, building credit score. Make sure that while you are here, you are going to know how to save money for retirement. While you are working, through 401k, through other way of investing for retirement, saving money not just for the debit or saving in the normal checking account, how to use certificate of deposits and other kind of ways, compounding, whatever, those kind of investment. Find every single possible way to invest. Find different ways on how you can improve yourself in a professional setting, if it's a business or if it is just like working. How you can become even up to governor. How can you get better jobs? All those kind of things. you need to do. Don't drink and drive. Don't harass, don't treat bad women and children. You will become to regret in your entire life. Have the positive mind. From day one, come here. Even if you come here, you are primary school. Just have like, if I want to do business, how can I be the better business person? How, if I'm here, how can I become a very big manager in a big company or CEO or my own company? You can start from zero, slowly you can go up. So don't come here and just get satisfied by $15 per hour because you come from the country where you get $200 per month. Now you get 2,000. You get relaxed. You start getting this kind of loan, getting very expensive cars alone. Then you cannot afford to live the life. Don't be fake, starting showing off the life all the time fake, and you're not true to yourself, true to your dreams. So those are the basics of how immigrant can be able to succeed. Have friends who are immigrants and also who are real American. You can know how to succeed. People from different backgrounds, people from different ways on how you can be able to succeed. Those are the things you need to know in order to succeed here in America. So those are the list of 50 questions on the diversity visa lottery applications. Each person should know, be aware, so that you can be for sure, or you can apply and win and be successful in one or another. So any question, you let me know. But apart from that, share this video to so many people. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, go and subscribe right now and make sure that you know these regulations so that you are not going to be surprised. You apply and lose or win and be denied for the diversity visa lottery. So that is how it is about 50 questions on the diversity visa lottery you need to know before you apply.